Yo guys, what's up, it's Krypz and welcome to another fashion build video. So today I'm bringing you the Scarlet Queen Warlock set. Now this is based off the Scarlet Keep, but yeah, this set's pretty much going to be like a full red with like some bone going throughout, and I also have a really nice weapon to like blend with it. So anyways, it's time I show you all the set. So here it is here. Obviously, as you could see, the weapon I'm using is the Thorn with the Heretic Robe ornament. This is currently being sold in the Eververse archive. This is absolutely perfect for this set. It gives off the red look and also has the green glow, which matches with the skull and the Steeplechase here. And then as for the ghost shell and sparrow I'm using, for this set I'm using the Restless Shell and the Winchester's Ruined Sparrow. Now obviously you could also use the Eris Morn shell to match with the green glow of the skull, but I did want to go with something a bit different with the Restless Shell, having like the straps of the ghost shell match with the robes of the armor. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. The bone look, the steeplechase matching with the helmet as well, looking like a crown. I just love the whole flow of the set. So I will quickly go over what I'm using here, and then I will show you all some alternatives you can use after. So moving on to the helmet here. So we have the crown of tempests with the Diadem of Deceit ornament. This is currently in the Eververse archive. This is pretty much where my like starting point was with the set. I seen this and I was like, I have to use this for a Scarlet Queen because, you know, it's got a crown look, you could create a nice bone look with it as well, and I just really wanted to base a set off like the Scarlet Keep. Now there is some issues with this set. It's quite restricted with what you can use. Now the problem with Steeplechase with this helmet is that no matter what shade you use, the bone color does not shader, whereas on the Crown of Tempest ornament, this sort of bone can actually shader. So what I initially had an issue with was trying to blend the bone together and also keep with the red. So Gambit Suede is pretty much the only good shade I could find to do this, and unfortunately this shader is no longer obtainable as it was from Gambit during Forsaken. Now obviously you can use the Conflagrate shader to create a nice bone red, although it will not match with the robes. Then moving on to the arms here, so we have the Steeplechase ornament on the arms with the Conflagrate shader. This is pretty much what I'll mostly be using throughout the rest of the set. If you don't know how to get it, is from the Crucible for reaching rank 10 in Valor, and then obviously the Steeplechase pieces are from the Season of the Hunt, which is no longer obtainable. Then moving on to the robes here, obviously the Steeplechase pieces again with the Conflagrate shader. Now I cannot find anything better for this sort of look than these robes. Obviously I will have alternatives I'll show you later, but this is the absolute best thing I could find, and I'm just absolutely in love with like the bone design back here, with like the spine going up with like the bone arches on the shoulders here with this really cool shoulder plate. Overall an amazing look to like the whole set. And then obviously here we have the Frau skull with the green glow, which also matches with the Thorn and also the Sparrow trail. Then as for the boots, I chose the Praefectus boots. The reason why I didn't choose the Steeplechase was because I didn't want the bone on the boots as well. I preferred the thinner look of the legs, hence why I used the Praefectus, again with the Conflagrate shader, and this was from the Season of the Chosen Pass. Overall not bad whatsoever. I just wanted some straps, and that is also why I didn't use Legtus. I think it looks better for this set here without like the padding going over. And then finally the bond. I want to go with something different. Obviously you could go with the Steeplechase from the Season of the Hunt, but I chose the Kateria from this season's Eververse set, and I used the Ironwood shader from the Curse of Osiris. Now obviously this was to create the bone colour. The issues I did find was a lot of shaders that did create this bone colour on the bond didn't match with like the strap that goes around here. But yeah, I mainly just chose this because I didn't really want a free piece with the Steeplechase, and also I just really like the design of this bond. Now moving on to some alternatives you could possibly use, we have the Steeplechase ornament instead on the helmet. The Mask of Secrus also isn't too bad. If you want like, you know, this somewhat gives a bit of a crown look, although to be honest with you, I think the Crown of Tempest looks much better than this. And then finally another quick suggestion would be the Hood of the Great Hunt. This has an overall nice design, and it's also still obtainable from the Lazarus raid, and it shaders quite well. Then moving on to some alternative arms you could use. So obviously you could use the Conflagrate on the Leviathan normal arms. It does give this like a lighter look though, so personally if you were to use this instead, then you could go Carbon Blood. It adds this like nice like metal plating on the fingertips here, so it doesn't honestly look too bad. Then there's also the Shadow Gloves from the Crown of Sorrows raid. Here is with the Conflagrate shader, gives off that sharp look as well, which sort of matches and doesn't look too bad overall. And then if you have the Wild Hunt gloves and don't have Steeplechase, this is what they look like. Use the Conflagrate. You could use Carbon Blood though as well. Pretty much these don't look too bad, although they just remove the bone bits. And then finally, another gloves I suggest would be the Praefectus with the Conflagrate. Doesn't look bad whatsoever. Now quickly showing you all some robes. There isn't too many to go with this sort of look. With like the Scarlet Queen, I don't think there is pretty much anything better than this at all. But you could go with the Scorned band robes if you really wanted to. Although this is better for like a necromancer look, like I made in a previous video. But if you did want to use anything else, I'd probably suggest maybe the shadow robes. These don't look too bad and give off that sort of queen like look. Then moving on to the boots, alternatives you could use, obviously the Steeplechase isn't too bad, but personally I just didn't want the bone. And even the contender boots from the Guardian games may not look too bad on it, though you will have to deal with this patterning come down the side here. But anyways, we also have the Leviathan normal boots with the Carbon Blood shader. That doesn't look too bad for this set. And finally we have the shadow boots from the Crown of Sorrows raid. This is what I originally wanted to go with, but I didn't really like the purple gems which are non-shaderable. Then moving on to the final piece, the bond. Like I said, the best alternative is probably the Steeplechase, but personally I didn't want to use 3 pieces of one set in this video. So yeah, there were some quick alternatives I wanted to show you all that could also work quite well with this set. Obviously some of you may think of some of your own ideas of how to create your own Scarlet Keep set, so please comment them down below, any pieces you would use, or if you want to, go ahead and show them to me on my Discord server. We have just passed 3,000 members, so I do want to thank you all so much for that. I will be making more of these fashion build videos as a lot of you are really liking them, so I will start pushing towards other themes. We're going to move away from the Hive for a while, and we're probably going to go into some more Vexed kind of sets, considering there's a load of new pieces from the Vault of Glass which would suit that sort of theme. So yeah, if you don't want to miss out on those videos, please go ahead and subscribe. If you did like this set, please drop a like on the video. And yeah guys, thank you all so much again for the incredible support. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.